My beautiful friends, welcome back to another episode of Talia Talks, where I talk about what's inspiring me, what's helping me, and grounding me, always with the intention that what I share helps you. So I share what's worked for me, and I give you tangible things that you can start implementing right now to notice change in your life today. I've spent the last 3 years studying somatic psychology, so all of what I share is either backed up by psychology or my own powerful experience, which is just as important as science-based research. So if you're into that, go ahead and follow the podcast. And this is the first episode where I have a guest, so I'm so excited for you to listen. Laurel Tate is one of the first people who was on my list when I thought of who I wanted to host on the show. She is someone who inspires me and embodies what a powerful woman is. So I'm so glad that this beautiful, incredibly smart, and fierce woman, Laurel, made the time to sit down with me and have this conversation that you're about to listen to. We talk about the importance of listening to your body, motherhood, being a business owner, integrating masculine and feminine energies, how powerful women are, how important it is that we talk about things that we don't normally, perimenopause, the importance of spending time with yourself, and healing shame. So buckle in and get ready to laugh because Laurel's also hilarious and she always cracks me up. And I hope you enjoy and get something valuable out of your listening today. And if something sticks out to you, I invite you to write it down and share this episode with a friend who might also get something out of it. I'm so excited. So when I was thinking about who I want to have on my podcast, you were one of the first people that came to mind. And the and the reason is because you were an important person to me for a few reasons, because Two Soul Sisters is so special to me, and moving here. And so I'll tell people how we met. Okay. But when I was first thinking about who do I want to have on, it was you. And part of the reason is because you are somebody to me that just embodies this like feminine strength, this fierceness that I know comes from a lot of deep inner work. Thank you. So I really want to hear about that. And when I first started my journey of like deep inner work, anytime I saw a woman who was like you, who was like just very authentic, very yourself, I was like, wow, I want that. So
thank you. That's such a nice compliment.
Yeah. So it means a lot that you're here, and I'll tell people how we met. For people who don't know who you are, this is Laurel. If you want to say anything about yourself, you're welcome to. But what do you want to say? Hi.
I feel equally grateful for meeting you and having you come in my life. And I'm Laurel, and it's interesting now not owning my business, because in the past there was so much attachment of my identity to the store. Mm-hmm. And so some people know me from Two Soul Sisters, some people know me from the horse world and riding horses, and I feel like I bridge a lot of space with people, mm-hmm. and different areas of knowing mm-hmm. people. So it is I love my life, and I love the people that I have surrounded myself with, and who I get to keep meeting. And mm-hmm. I don't take it for granted when I meet someone like you, and the impact that we can have on one another, and that how it's important as women, especially, to go together.
Yes.
And that we're not going alone.
Yes.
On this journey of like feminine evolution.
Yeah.
So
absolutely.
That it's important we're together doing that.
Mm-hmm. I love that. And even with like the littlest things, like, what are you using on your hair? What do you I love that.
I know, it's so funny because I don't know if you read any of Malcolm Gladwell's books, but he, has like, people are always like, you're a maven, from his, one of his books talking about sharing information and like, oh, I know somebody who is in this practitioner, or I use this product and I'm like proselytizing something. And it's like, I am overwhelmingly passionate about things and people. So that kind of all goes together.
Yes, totally. I love that about you too. And for people who don't know, Laurel is definitely that person.
I am overly passionate.
Yeah. I've called, my mom used this phrase before, and so I used it too. She said about her coworker, she's my Oprah. And I feel like you're like that too for like bolder things and so many things. Yeah.
Yeah, I get on a bandwagon and go to town for sure. And like when I love something, I love something. And when I don't love something, I definitely don't love something.
Opinionated. That's great.
Yes.
Yeah.
Since I was very small, very opinionated.
Yeah.
You don't ever have to guess where I stand on something. There's no like wishy-washy middle ground.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, and I love that too. And it goes against like the whole, I feel like the stereotype that what women are conditioned to be is like agreeable and people pleasing. And so when you show up and you have an opinion and you're not quiet about it, it's really powerful.
And disconcerting for some. Terrifying or frustrating.
Yeah.
I think probably the biggest challenge of that for me personally is to not always act on my impulse to like, I can be really, it can come across as really aggressive. And so I have to remember to like take a breath.
Yeah.
You don't have to be like all in 100% right from the get-go.
Yeah.
Like you can just like take a breath, take a beat, relax, because I am like, oh my gosh, and then like flood somebody with too much information. So.
Right. Oh yeah. Interesting. So. And then do you find people who really want to hear what you have to say and you get to flood them and you just...
Yes, and I'm like, am I intentionally surrounding myself with people that are like, wait, tell me more? Yes, and I'm learning discernment on when to be mindful to not put everything out there. I think that's harder for me because like people like you and me that are like super excited and we're like, tell me more, I want more information. Then there are people who look at us like we have 3 heads. And then I have to remember that those people exist. And like I don't have to win them over to my side.
Oh, totally.
Because as much as I am my own person and I'm very opinionated, I wouldn't say I'm a people pleaser, but as a human, it's like I want people to like me. And in my past, I have been very much a chameleon where I can change colors and change myself and be malleable based on the situation. And I used to think that was a superpower, but now I think it's an Achilles heel a little bit that if I'm always adapting, where do I stand in my truth?
Yeah.
So that's been like a last maybe like 4 or 5 years kind of evolution for myself of being like, oh, that's great that I can really be malleable in different social situations or work situations where I can get along with anyone. But then at what point am I sacrificing myself and I'm not being authentic to myself in that situation?
Totally. Yeah. So. How have you figured out like that line? When do you know when you've crossed it?
That's a really good question. I think partially it's not that not caring how it impacts, because it really does matter how I land on someone else. It really does matter if I hurt someone's feelings or make them uncomfortable. Like, but also knowing I'm not going to sacrifice my comfort and my feelings in a situation for someone else.
Totally.
So maybe it's walking a tightrope a little bit of like being honest and true with yourself, and then also being mindful of how you are with other people in relation with other people.
Yeah. I
don't know if that
I'm
was
very
clear.
familiar with that.
Yes.
And yeah, I think that makes a lot of sense. And I know that a lot of people struggle with that, what you're talking about, and this idea that it's selfish to care about your own comfort in a situation or prioritize that in a relationship. What would you, do you have anything to say about that?
You were going to ask a question.
What would you say to somebody who is worried about being selfish when prioritizing their own comfort? Yeah.
I think, I believe that if you're taking care of yourself and what's comfortable for you, I mean, we all should push ourselves, right? And get out of our comfort zone. It's like, I really am very happy in my happy place of like control my world. But when I step out of it and allow myself to be a little bit uncomfortable, that's okay. But if my body is reacting in a way, or if your body is telling you that this doesn't feel safe, that this is not a good place to be, I think it's so important to listen to your body, because we're animals first. And our natural instinct is self-preservation. And so I would say, if your body is telling you and your nervous system is like, I am way offline, get me out of here, listen to that.
Yeah.
For sure, listen to that. And that it's not selfish, it's actually self-preservation. And honoring what's true for your body. And I think that is the most important thing. And if you hurt someone's feelings unintentionally, you can come back and hopefully, if it's a safe space, you can say what it was that was triggering for you as a human being, and that it didn't feel good to you, and it wasn't anything personal.
Right.
I think, I don't know, the more we can own up to our humanity and how messy our humanness is, that then it allows us to have so much deeper connection.
Yes.
So that's what I would say, is use it to go deeper, maybe.
Yeah. Oh, I love that. I love what you said about how we're animals first. And I'm remembering a conversation we had a few years ago when you were talking about motherhood, and how for you didn't like bother to read the books or worry about if you're doing it right, because you thought, well, I'm an animal and I know how to do this. And
I still believe that. Like, I don't know if that really served me well. We'll have to ask my kiddo. But I really just didn't buy into the fact that there were all these books and websites, and thankfully my son is now 19, and so yes, the internet was around, but I feel like it wasn't as in your face when he was little as it is now, and like on our phone, on our devices all the time. So you can be like, my kid is hitting his head against the wall, does he have an issue? You know, it's like, no, he's just being a weirdo and like being a little kid. So for me, yes, I tend to look at myself with a animal eye first, and I still believe that with like interactions. People as animals want love and security and safety more than anything. So like, show up and give people love, security, and safety. I mean, it's pretty easy. I don't know.
Right, it's so simple.
And impossible.
Yeah.
It's simple and impossible. That is like our life struggle as humans, is like, it is pretty damn simple and impossible at the same time.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Why is it so hard sometimes? I mean, there's so many reasons.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, I'm curious to hear more about what it was like for you raising a son,
Yes.
and that question of how, if at all, that changed your relationship with men or what your perspective on men, like raising a boy from boyhood to manhood.
It's really an interesting question. And I think right now in this world in the United States that we're living in, it's a very interesting and thoughtful question because there is an issue with masculinity in our community and femininity in our community, and there's such a divide, and people are so polarizing with what they talk about. For me personally, I was raised with a sister, and I had lots of male cousins. I have lots of male cousins, and the way I was raised was very much, I felt like my parents always wanted a boy. And my sister and I, we were raised really with the best of both worlds. Our dad and mom took us hunting and fishing, and we spent a lot of time outside, but we also had our Barbies that we were obsessed with, and our Barbies went hunting with us. So, I mean, I would say we really bridged that gap, and we were afforded everything that a boy would be able to do. We were offered that. And that was really great. Like, we were putting on makeup and going hunting and not showering for 4 days, like, and being dirty and gross, and it was awesome. So, but it was interesting when I found out I was having a boy, how shocked I was, and like, I don't know how to be a boy mom. But you don't know how to be a mom at all. Like, I'm like, being a boy mom is the least of your problems. Like, you just have to be a mom. But at the same time, it's just like mothering and nurturing a human. And for me, I always said, I am parenting this human within the framework of this human, and not as a boy or a girl or, a kid with a certain kind of personality.
Right.
And I didn't have an agenda. I just was like, how can I nurture this person to be the best person he possibly can be on the planet? So for me, it was more of, how do I show up with unconditional love and care and let him experience the world with his own eyes, and trying not to put like my judgment and my opinion of the outside world onto him, and like, let him see the world with fresh eyes and navigate it in an authentic way for him. And he always had a lot of girlfriends when he was young, and because he's very sensitive and has a high emotional intellect, and so
I can see that being your son.
Yeah, he always, and at a young age, like elementary school age, the girls understood that better, and he understood the openness of girls a little bit better. I would say probably through middle school, and then it started changing, and he had both male and female friends. But I don't know if that's answering your question. I'm very tangential on another subject,
fine.
But I think, like, for me, it made me sensitive to the plight of males in our community, that society as a whole wants men to be this masculine and a certain kind of idea of what men should be. but they're told two things.
Mm-hmm.
They're like, be masculine, and then like, don't be this, don't be that. So I think it's a really confusing time.
Yeah.
I think, and it's and what I experience in my life personally is we all have masculine and feminine traits. And so I felt like as a mom, my goal was to have that be integrated for my child. That both sides are equally valuable and important in humans in general.
Right. Totally. Yeah. I love that last part too about how we all have both masculine and feminine traits. And I've been doing some research, deep diving into that for myself. And like I talked about in the beginning, how I see you as being somebody who has this feminine strength. Like what I recognize is that you have this really beautiful balance and that integration that you said. And so I see that in you.
Thank you.
Yeah.
It has been a lifetime of work to get to that point. Is very challenging because you and I had talked about this before. I operated so much in my masculine for so long, and out of self-preservation and out of necessity. And I think once I realized, I worked with an amazing therapist who helped integrate this. So it was not me coming to this on my own. I will take no credit for that. But truly having it identified as me operating in my masculine, and I don't shame myself or give myself a hard time for that in the past, because it was just me doing what I knew to survive and to function. But really being fully integrated in that masculine and feminine side to myself is very satisfying.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. Will you speak to what it was like when you were in your masculine? Like, what did that look like, feel like?
Always, for me, this is just my personal experience, always wanting to be in control, being in my head all the time, not being in my body. I think for me, mostly it was like a very intellectual and controlling way to be. So I could control my environment, the people around me, so I would feel powerful. And I think in my past, I used like the control and the need for power in my life in a very narrow way that then kept me from being soft and open to things that are new, or new people, or just new experiences. I think that that was one of the most challenging things. And then really finding that there is such power in femininity, and that it's, for me personally, that is where so much of my power is. And that it's not physical power or intellectual prowess or that kind of power, but just power in the like rootedness of me as a human being.
Totally. Yeah, and I think, well, at least in what you're sharing and in my experience too, it's not always safe for women, or it hasn't always felt safe to be that soft, open self. Absolutely. Especially in my experience growing up, being a girl, being sexualized and being taken advantage of for something that, as I got older and reclaimed that sexuality, that sexual power for myself, that's like where my power is. And so it's really smart actually to switch over into the operating more out of your masculine when that is such a reality. for people.
Truly,
Yeah.
as like women presenting humans or women, so many of us were hypersexualized as young people. And I mean, for me, I can go back to when I was 10.
Yeah.
And grown men touching me, commenting on my body parts. And so where is there safety in that?
I know.
In your soft feminine. Like, absolutely, to what you're saying is like, that is not a safe place to be. So you armor up and you present yourself as a badass, or I'm gonna kick your ass, or like I'm tough. And so that is a coping mechanism and a safety place, which our bodies, again, going back to animals, our bodies are knowing.
Yeah.
And will take you offline to protect you. And so I feel that very deeply in my DNA, that like as a young person, being like early developer, very feminine attributes, that I didn't want to show that off.
Yeah.
And yeah, I would say that like I grew up in Texas, and for me, I wanted to get out of Texas because I had this fear that I was going to become, you know, a partner to someone, a wife, or something that was like, that someone wasn't going to let me be myself. That I was going to be put in this prescriptive box of like what a woman is and how she's supposed to care for her family and do these things and do it the right way. And then I could never live authentically to who I was. And in doing that, then on the flip side, I really entrenched myself even more in my masculine, and then didn't find my feminine side probably until maybe like in 2020.
Yeah.
Is when I really started doing like a deep dive into like what that looked like for me. And so my whole life of being like armored up and like just shoulder through. And I grew up with a mom whose phrase to us always was get tough or die. I mean, that is horrendous. I have now started to, she still uses that one a lot. And I'm like, actually, there is a lot of space between getting tough and dying. And I'm actually not picking either one of those. I'm going to operate in a different way, not choosing either of those choices.
Yeah.
Which, so, yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah, the get tough or die thing is like astounding to me.
Yeah.
I'm like, there are a lot of other options than those two. I'd like to tell you about them,
Yeah,
you know? I mean, right? Like,
yeah. So what was that turning point moment for you in 2020, or what changed when you said a deep dive and found your femininity?
I separated from my husband and partner at the time. And I was single for the first time in forever. I had been a serial monogamist, you know, my whole life, always going from relationship to relationship. And that was the first time, like, I was living alone. I had my kiddo only half time. And so I had a lot of quiet time for the first time ever in my life, I think.
Yeah.
And so in those quiet spaces, I stopped filling so much time with going and doing and being productive, with just sitting quietly and working with my therapist too, to like really reclaim myself. And that was kind of the impetus for that starting.
Yeah. Wow. When you're talking about that, I'm thinking of this book I read recently by Parvati. I don't remember her last name.
Is it Roy?
No.
Is it not? Okay.
No, but she was a she was on the Survivor and she won the Survivor.
Oh, wow.
And she was like in that whole world of really tough reality show. And she also talks about in this memoir the turning point for her was splitting with her partner and also having a situation where for the first time in her life having that quiet time alone in her house where she lived alone, and like there was just so much that came up for her then, and reclaiming.
It's interesting herself. Because like I am very much an extrovert.
Mm-hmm.
But in that I realize, I don't know, they just came up with a new term that's talking about...
Yeah, I saw that.
Did you
on
see
Instagram.
that? I can't remember what they call it. It's like a... I can't remember. I feel like it starts with an O.
Yes.
But maybe I'm thinking of omnivore. Yeah. But that idea of being both,
mm-hmm.
an introvert and an extrovert, I always said I was an introverted extrovert because I love talking to people. Mm-hmm. I love hearing people's stories. I love being engaged with people.
Mm-hmm.
And that fills my cup.
Mm-hmm.
But then I also need the alone time.
Yeah.
Not in the same way I think that introverts who like really have to charge their battery by being alone. But I find satisfaction now in being alone, where before it was really scary and intimidating. And I would get on the phone or do whatever it was to have connection, so I didn't have to have the quiet place.
Mm-hmm.
But I think like I love those quiet times and that quiet self-reflective space now. It's now what I need to recharge. And I think a function in my job before owning the store is being available all the time and being out front and being, part of the community and really having that feed me and recharge me.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, okay, how much of that is true?
Mm-hmm.
And then how much do you want to be away from that?
Yeah. Yeah. And when you were first learning how to be alone and you would like call people and do all the things to avoid yourself.
Like every song and dance possible, like talking to my animals. So I'd be like the crazy lady in the 1600s that was labeled a witch because I'm having a conversation with my cat, my dog.
Yeah, totally. How did you, what changed for you when you started to feel the satisfaction that you feel now with being alone?
Oh, that's a good question. I feel like, first of all, at a somatic level, I let myself move my body. So the energy that I was feeling, like meditation doesn't need to be sitting down, being really still and quiet. Like you can do meditation washing the dishes. You can do meditation baking a cake, making yourself dinner. So everything, if it's intentional, can be a meditation. So I think that was a big shift for me because I tend to be a little maybe late diagnosed midlife ADHD woman, that I need to move my body to get the energy flowing, and then that also feels safe in my body to be moving.
Yeah, and it's also just very animal of you.
There, right? I mean, totally, like to listen to that. So I think the big change for me is acceptance, and that what I do to comfort myself or self-soothe might just be what works for me, whether it's washing the dishes. And having a friend of mine, she is a coach and a trainer, and she's amazing. She's the biggest badass ever. Her name is Kelly. Maybe she'll listen to this.
Shout out to Kelly.
She's a phenomenal human being. She really encourages the people she coaches and works with to have go on a run or a walk with no headphones. Go listen to the birds, listen to the thoughts in your mind. What are you telling yourself? You don't have to be entertained 24/7. And I will say that I really am challenged by that, because I want to get in my car and put on a podcast. I want to listen to my Audible book. I want to call my friend I haven't talked to in a week, my natural inclination is to fill the quiet with something, because my brain is busy. I mean, it's really busy. And so when it's quiet, I feel like I'm wrestling a lot. And it's physically and emotionally taxing to listen to my brain all the time.
Yeah.
So I find myself braining out by listening to something, which isn't always what I need. It's maybe what I want, but it's not what I need.
Yeah.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
Absolutely.
But, so I'm always evolving and always trying to be better today than I was yesterday. And so I'm like, okay, it seems insurmountable to drive for 20 minutes in silence. Can you drive for 10 minutes in silence? And then your reward for 10 minutes of silence is to listen to the podcast you want to listen to?
Right.
So that's how I'm, I don't know, evolving and trying to embrace that change for myself.
Yeah. Yeah, I relate to that a lot.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah, I think a lot of people do.
This is why my partner loves to go to sleep at night. Like, he's like, every night when we go to bed, I'm like, what was the best part of your day today? And he's like,
right
it's
now.
this right now. It's being snuggling next to you, touching you, and cuddling and going to bed. And I'm like, oh my God. Like, I'm coming out of my skin. Like, bedtime is like a nightmare for me. It's such like, my brain is like, going 500 miles an hour. Like, what didn't you do today? What do you need to do tomorrow? What are all the things? And like, trying to quiet myself is like a really big struggle.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh my gosh, there are people who love getting into bed and going to sleep.
Yeah.
I'm like, that's relaxing? I'm like, this seems like, I don't know, like I'm being waterboarded. It's torture.
Wow, yeah.
So then, like, I'm like, oh, that's really interesting. How can I learn to embrace this time and have it be quiet? It is a daily challenge.
Yeah, right. What a question.
I'm going to tell you.
Yeah.
Like, I have not found the existential answer to that, but like, it's a challenge.
Yeah, I love you being real about the struggle of that.
Oh my God.
Yeah.
I am nothing but real. Like, I have very little filter. No, I have a good social filter. I know when to be appropriate. But I really just kind of throw all my shit out there. Excuse me for cursing.
I love that. No, you can curse on my podcast. Okay. I do it all the time.
Okay, good.
Good. I was thinking the other day, I was like, should I start bleeping it? No. It's just real.
I don't like bleeping. It's so... I feel like the bleeping on a podcast is so much more jarring than the actual word.
Yeah. I mean, it's just how I speak.
Me too.
And so I hope that people don't mind it.
I mean, I'm impressed that we've gone this long and I haven't dropped the
F-bomb
once.
Yeah.
Like, for me, that is like, I'm like, oh, look what restraint I'm showing.
Yeah. So, right. Totally. Yeah. I was thinking about this earlier today because I was in my car and I've been so excited. When I'm excited and I have a lot to say, I just want to call somebody and have a chat. But I'm thinking, like, actually, I would much rather just talk to myself. Like, I think there's nobody. I'm like, who do I really want to talk to that would match my energy level right now? And the answer is really, I just want to enjoy my own energy. But amazing. Like you said, I'm out of practice with that. Like, it's a new thing, so it's a challenge.
That's really impressive.
Yeah,
I want to take that intentionality. Andy, my partner, asked me today because I was going to send this text, And he was like, do you want to send that text because you want the person to have the information? Or is it or do you want to do it because it feels good to you? Because feeling good to you isn't necessarily the right answer on sending that text. I was like, oh, damn you. And then when I saw him a couple of hours later, he's like, did you send the text? I was like, no. Damn it. But I did save it in my notes in case I want to revisit it.
Yeah, there you go.
But like, really, I thought I like having a partner that will call me out in a caring, loving way. And it makes me think of like what you're saying about being with yourself. So is it like, because it was satisfying enough to write it and put it in a note and live with it, maybe it didn't need to be out in the world.
Yeah.
Just like those conversations.
Yeah,
like,
right.
Are those internal conversations satisfying enough?
Yeah. Yeah, I think about this a lot, actually, with creating and sharing and desire versus need and like giving myself the desire or going after it. Like, how important it is to actually let yourself feel pleasure and feel joy. And like you're talking about, what's the line where you want to actually have some discipline and delay the gratification and it's a thing to navigate. Yeah.
And there's not a straight line, right? Don't you feel like it's constantly moving?
Oh, totally.
And that it depends on your mood, depends on how your day went, what kind of interactions you already had.
Yeah. Yeah, my friend Sarah brought this quote to me that I think about a lot, that balance isn't a noun, it's a verb.
Oh.
Right?
Yes, that.
Yeah, that it's a thing you do. It's not something you achieve.
Oh, it is an active participation.
Yeah.
Right? In balance. Oh, and that goes back to like the masculine and feminine thing. Yeah. That we're always walking on the tightrope, having to rebalance ourselves. And it's a verb.
Yeah. It totally
That's
is.
Genius.
Yeah.
I love that. I'm putting that in my pocket today. Good. I'm going to take it with me.
I like love that. Good. I want to ask some of the questions that I have on my sheet because we've been having such a good conversation, but I want to make sure that there are some things that I did want to talk about. Okay. One of the topics is perimenopause because I know that some of my listeners are there and I'm not there, and so I'm very curious about like what that stage of your life is bringing to you, and specifically relating to desire or sexuality or just like how it's changing your relationship with that.
Definitely. It's so fascinating that there is a lot of dialogue now around perimenopause and menopause for women, and before it was nothing.
Right.
There was absolutely nothing, and it is so validating.
Oh my God.
To hear, and I follow a million women on social media about perimenopause, and I talk to everybody. I am like a wacko proselytizing. Like, I must talk hormones at least 3 times a day with women. And men who will listen. Because men have hormone needs too. Yeah. I mean, I don't want to leave them out. I mean, everybody deserves to feel the best they possibly can. I'm excited for your generation of women to come up with this as the norm. And how much... So we have very little scientific research based on women. And that's changing slowly.
Yeah.
And I think it's really exciting because by the time you get there, it's going to be the most commonplace thing. I mean, I still talk to women who are like, well, I can't take hormone replacement therapy. And I'm like, please tell me why.
Yeah, right.
And when they tell me, I'm like, okay, I am not a medical provider, but I'm a woman with a lot of information and a lot of opinions. And I'm like, wait a minute, that's not true. This like, we have things that were told to women for years that really were designed in a patriarchal way to keep women from their sexuality and keep women from inhabiting their bodies like they should be inhabiting their bodies. And I have a huge problem with that.
Yeah.
For me, I had started research before. So I thought I was in menopause and I was so excited. I had 7 months with no period, and now she's back with a vengeance. So those women out there who are like, it's been 6 months and I'm done. I'm like, good luck, ladies. Yeah. It's coming back for you, I promise. It's really been interesting how much our hormones and being out of balance affects your daily life. Yeah. So we support women when they start their periods.
And barely.
Like, kind of. Right? Kind of? Is that a right answer for that, right? Like, it's so interesting that people are so uncomfortable talking about women's bodies and what we're experiencing. I'm like, why is this uncomfortable? Like, I truly, like, I am so not uncomfortable. I will talk about anything. I am an open book. I'm like, why are we uncomfortable? Right. Like, why did I feel shame at age... I started my period on November 6th, 3 days before my 11th birthday. I think it was my 11th birthday. I was in 5th grade. I was the first gal in my class to start my period. And I didn't want anyone to know. I was mortified. I also was the first one to wear a bra. And in Houston, in August starting school, and we wore uniforms, I wore a sweater vest in August in 99 degrees with 98% humidity so nobody could see I had a bra on. Like, what is wrong with that? Like, seriously, like, where is the empowering women? Like, your body is not shameful. And by the way, I'm going to side note digress real quick, because I was listening to this podcast the other day talking about purity culture and rape culture being two sides to the same coin.
Oh, yeah, girl.
And I think I'm very passionate about this, that when we shame young women from their bodies, we take away agency. And this is where horrible things happen to women.
Exactly.
And girls.
Yeah.
And ain't nobody got time for that. So, like, I just throw that out there, that really that being the same side. And as women in my generation, I'm Gen X, like through and through, that we have mothers that are aging and we have children that are coming up, and that it is our responsibility to bridge this gap and to have honest conversation and honest dialogue about bodies and change, and that perimenopause is not a shameful time. It's actually the most empowering time. And, you know, there's like the idea of these archetypes of women, of the crone. I'm like, ladies, let's go. Let's embrace the crone.
Oh my gosh, I love this. What does the crone mean for you?
The crone, like, I think before I knew more about menopause, that the crone was like, you're old lady, you're all shriveled up, and your vagina has tumbleweeds in it. And, like, the crone was terrifying. Right? That the crone was...
like an old hag.
The old hag, right? And that... I'm like, oh no, the crone is wise. And the crone is filled with knowledge. And it doesn't mean the old hag. It means somebody who's like not taking any shit anymore. And there actually is scientific information that we have about the loss of estrogen and oxytocin and these hormones in our bodies, making us not give a fuck anymore. And that is actually science. Is that those nurturing, caretaking hormones are diminishing. And so our threshold for bullshit is like done. So...
and why is that so important and needed in society?
I think because of the people-pleasing patriarchal structure, that women have really been encouraged to fill that space and not other spaces. That right now, I think it's so important that women speak their truth, because the matrilineal side of things is so powerful and so important, and that we don't need to take power. We are power. And that when we rise up and speak our truth and like take up space, we're not taking power away from men. We're rising up in unity as human beings, that we can collectively be stronger and better together, is what I believe. I mean, that's just my personal point of view. And so with perimenopause and the information we have, the interesting, I think, part is now that so many more women have access to hormones. And so like for me, myself, I take estrogen. And if you take estrogen, you have to take progesterone. Keeps the uterine lining from building up. And you have to do it for safety reasons. Plus it makes you sleep like a dream. It's amazing. Progesterone is fabulous. And I take testosterone because, again, contrary to popular belief, testosterone is not a male only hormone. Women have testosterone also. And so to thrive, we need all three of those sex hormones to give us energy and keep our hair good and keep muscle on and keep our sex drive high and keep feeling like human beings. So I think the interesting thing is going to be the evolution of the crone. Because as we are aging and more of us are taking hormones, and we can stay on hormones indefinitely, that we have better quality of life. We have better physical health. We have better sexual health. We have we thrive. And so I think the crone is going to evolve. And that's really exciting to me. And so as my generation is stepping into this right now and embracing hormones and supplements and things that like, I'm 52. I feel 35. Like, I know when I see somebody that's 35 and I'm like, oh my gosh, are you 12? That like there is a difference, but truly I see myself in the way I walk in the world as not like an old lady. And people are like, ma'am. And I'm like, oh God, I am that old lady. And I'm like, you can call me ma'am, it's fine. But it's an interesting way to walk in the world, and I'm excited. I love this stage of my life. I feel the most true to myself and the most like in my womanhood than I ever have.
That's so beautiful.
I feel like you asked me a question and then I'm like, oh, look, Laurel is
I just
going
said the word perimenopause.
And I'm like, and she's off to the races. It's like speed skating at the Olympics right now. So I know I'm so tangential and like probably a nightmare to ask questions too. And you're like, shit, come back, rein her in.
It's so entertaining.
But it's,
It's great. I love having this conversation. There was something that you said that really hit home for me, and I hope people listening like heard it and felt it too. You said, we're not taking power, we are the power. That really hit. That was awesome.
It's really, I think, when we own our power, and I don't mean like being powerful over anyone else, but like the power that resides within your body and in your spirit. That's the power I'm talking about that resonates for me, because we can abuse power and be powerful over other people, and that's relatively easy. I think the more challenging part is that where do you harness your power that's on the inside, that's authentic and true for you, and to use that to create power in your own life, which is agency, right?
Right. And when you do that, when you show up that way, it inspires people to do the same thing.
Exactly.
It's like, you don't need to use it over somebody because it's just leading the way.
I agree with that. And I think that for me is so much with like women in my life and younger women of a different generation than me, my job on this planet is to empower other women. I truly feel that. And women my own age, like to find what feels good and true for them, and whether it's something emotional or physical, or, you know, like wanting more in their lives, or being a-okay with what they have in their lives, that's just as important.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's like always striving and searching. And I see, it's interesting, it made me think of, there are women who say they support other women, and then their actions show otherwise. And it's so interesting to me that I think showing up for women, especially now, right now, is so important. Yeah. So important.
I have so many questions for you. We could talk forever.
We could talk for days, I think.
I really want to hear about like what you would say to younger women who are maybe in that phase of life where they're dating, or they're maybe they're in a relationship or anything, but like, what do you wish you knew as a younger woman that you know now?
Well, that's a good
that
one.
You took years to figure out.
Oh my gosh, decades upon decades upon decades.
Right.
I think our society has started to move in a way. Well, it could be that it's just this bubble that I live in. That women are seen as whole humans, that they don't have to be in partnership with someone to be a whole human. And when I was growing up, I don't feel that was the case. That it was very much like you needed to be partnered up, you needed to be in a relationship. I would say spending time with yourself and figuring out who you are, and you figure it out by living.
Yeah.
Right? Like I don't regret anything every choice I ever made got me to be sitting here with you today. And so I really don't live with regret. Are there certain things? Yes. I wish I had gone to law school, maybe. Do I wish that I had gone into like the foreign service or something like that to work in international politics? Maybe. Those things. But in my personal relationships, I feel like I went through a long period of being a dumbass. I mean, talking about somebody who is like so not evolved and so clueless. I honestly thought that like when I get on the train, you're on the train, you gotta stay on the fucking train.
Yeah.
Why
did you believe that lie? And I know that so many, like I've been there too. Like, why does that happen? I
think expectation, others' expectations, not expectations of myself, but the external expectation. I think about myself in my 20s and what a jackass I was. I mean, for anybody who hears this, if you ever knew me then, I am really sorry. I was clueless. I wasn't self-aware. I was pretty self-absorbed. And also really into wanting people to see me in a certain light and to act a certain way, to perform, very performative. Yeah. I would say my life was very performative. And so I think this younger generation of people coming up are much more self-aware. And it could just be that we live fortunately in an area where people are more open to self-exploration and digging a little deeper than the surface. But I wish that I had gotten more self-awareness earlier. It would have saved a lot of heartache and challenge, I think, in my world. So I would say for young women specifically, that time to figure yourself out, you don't need somebody else to complete you, male or female or gender neutral, you know, just being curious. Like, what do I like? Like, that's such a simple question. Right. What do I like?
Right.
And not like, what do your friends like? But you're like, my friends love to go eat Indian food every Thursday, and I have a stomachache every time I eat Indian food. Then why are you doing that?
Right.
Like, I personally love Indian food, so like that was not a good example for myself. But like really doing what feels good, and asking yourself that question. And if you're not hurting anyone else, then explore it. You know?
I love that. And I think, well, in my experience too, there's been some hesitation for fully going there because there's a fear of hurting other people. And so much of that is just conditioning and people-pleasing tendencies that I'm deconditioning myself from. So, yeah, I love that. And I'm so grateful that you said that. If you're not hurting anyone, explore it.
Do you think the fear, it makes me ask the question, maybe for both of us, is the fear that we would be unlovable?
Yeah, I mean, I've explored this for myself too, like, why is it what's so bad if I do hurt somebody, or if I say something that somebody doesn't like, or, right? And I think it is that I would be, for me, there's something about being hated, like being so, like, yeah, being seen as a horrible person, and that being true about me, which I know it's not true.
Right.
But for years and years, my self-image was really based on what other people said and thought about me. So it really would cut if somebody thought that I was bad or somebody thought that I was mean. I would just believe that, or question myself. And so it took a lot to have a sense of self that's defined by me.
Yes.
And not, and know that if somebody does feel that way about me, or if I do hurt somebody's feelings, that's okay. It doesn't need to mean anything about me. I get to decide what's true.
Exactly.
But yeah, I think that there's definitely something there about...
I used to cry talking to my therapist all the time when it would come up, and it makes me kind of choked up to say it now, to say that I am a good person, that I am good.
Yeah.
This is such a tender place for that, to be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
And I think like I think a lot of people struggle with that.
Yeah.
That like, are we operating from a place of that the people around us are reflecting back what we are, or are we actually looking in the mirror and reflecting back our true selves to our true selves? Right?
Yeah. Oh my gosh, this is reminding me, I have so many things to say about that. This is reminding me of a card that I pulled the other day that was seeing your true self. And it was exactly about that, about being able to see yourself reflected back to you, from you, and not using other people's perspectives of you to form your identity. Because other people have their own shit that they're projecting onto you. And so you need a clear mirror. And so how do you get that clear mirror? A lot of people have an inner critic and their own shit too that makes it so it's not a clear mirror.
Yes.
And when you're talking about being good, the other side of that is just all the shame and feeling like you're bad. Like that.
Yes.
That's what's true about you.
Yes.
And yeah, so many people have that shame. And that was actually one of the questions I wanted to ask you about, was about shame. Because there's so much of that wrapped up into girlhood, femininity, and sexuality. And I'm curious for you, what your relationship like is with shame these days.
That's a really great question.
Mm-hmm.
Shame is so pervasive in our society.
Mm-hmm.
And it's used as a weapon.
Totally.
I think. And I think with women specifically in their sexuality,
mm-hmm.
that it's wielded against them,
mm-hmm.
that there's such a double standard
mm-hmm.
still with women and sexuality and shame. And like the piece we're talking about reflecting who you truly are in the mirror back to yourself, I think shame is one of the most brutal and crippling things you can do to yourself. Mm-hmm. It just keeps us from growth because it makes us want to be small, mm-hmm. right? And go inside. Mm-hmm. And then for me personally, I have had shame around like what it looks like to be successful. Mm. So my store was successful. Mm-hmm. But was it like super financially successful for me? Mm. No, I don't live in a giant house and drive a fancy car and do all, have all the trappings of like that quote unquote successful life. Mm-hmm. So I had some shame wrapped up in that, and like I did this for X amount of years. I should have. There's a lot of shoulds wrapped up in that. So I have worked recently since selling the store to, and again, like I brought my partner up about it earlier, but he's a really good reflection of like when I have that shame piece about that. He's like, you were able to raise your child. Mm-hmm. You own a home. You own a car. Mm-hmm. You had a horse. You did these things. And like, those were the things that were important to you. And that was fulfilling to you. You don't need some other level of achievement, of financial achievement, to have what you wanted. Mm. I'm like, oh, that is a really good point. So those things, I find more shame around like financial stability mm-hmm. versus like me as a mm-hmm. shame in my person or my sexuality or like how I interact with people. Mm-hmm. So it is interesting how it shows up for me.
Yeah, and I think so many people relate to that too, because that financial stability is also tied to identity.
Totally.
And yeah, I'm so glad that you brought that up. I'm thinking of some people that I know who feel that way, and also again, like sex, money is one of those things that we don't we have a weird relationship to it, and we don't talk about it in a healthy way a lot of times. Yeah.
It's really interesting that sex and money mm-hmm. are both sex, money, and politics, right? Mm-hmm. It's like when you're at the dinner table, don't talk about sex, money, or politics. Mm-hmm. These are the things we don't talk about. And it's really curious when we stuff these things, how much more power they have over us. And the more we talk about it and more, there's such freedom in talking about the uncomfortable things, mm-hmm. right? Mm-hmm. It's like...
Yeah, it's relieving.
It is. And like, oh, I have this financial thing that is, it's like a dark cloud over my head. As soon as I say it out loud or I talk about it, there's freedom in that. And it's like, oh, it's not oppressive anymore. It's not keeping me small. Like, oh, there's actually a way to work through this. And like some people feel that about sexuality, where they're like, oh my gosh, I can't talk about my sex life. I can't talk about this and that. It's not satisfying, or it's the most satisfying, or it's whatever, and people feel like they can't talk about it. Mm-hmm. Like, oh
yeah, right.
Like, let the shit go.
Yeah.
Like, let the energy move through your body, right? Mm-hmm. People can't see I'm over gesticulating as per usual, but like, Yeah, like move the energy.
Right. That's the thing about shame, is that it keeps you wanting to hide it and stay small about it. But the moment that you open up and let it be said, let it be known, there's so much freedom.
It is. Yeah. It's like you're not being held hostage in your own body anymore. And finding safety, right? And the right people.
Yeah.
And being discerning. I think that level of discernment, like, I feel like I could tell you anything. This is why you're so fabulous at what you do. That, like, creating safety in your world. And I think that's really important as people, as human beings, as we're evolving and we want more communication, that not everybody deserves to hear your stuff. Yeah. Right? Like, who are you creating this space with? So that, like, those people are really valuable. And I feel like it's really important that people feel safe in who they talk to.
Totally. You know? Totally. Oh my gosh. I just wrote this in my newsletter this week. Go where your energy is reciprocated, appreciated, and celebrated. And that's what I needed to hear this week, and so I shared it because it's so true. And I've been in many relationships where that was not the case, where my energy was not reciprocated, not appreciated, or celebrated. And it feels like shit, and it's also confusing. Very. Because it's confusing because it makes me feel like there's something wrong with me, again, that shame thing. But actually, the moment I step out and into a relationship where my energy is reciprocated and it is appreciated and celebrated, I realize, it was never about me.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The moment that we realize that we take our ego out of it and that it's not all about us all the time. It's such a beautiful place to be. And that you get to create your environment with whoever you choose to invite in. And sometimes, if you're like me, you try to force people
Yep.
to be those people in your life when they clearly cannot be. And like one of my mottos, and I say this all the time, is expectations are a motherfucker. Because, like, if I have the expectation that this person who's been in my life forever is going to receive me and understand and hold space for me, that's my expectation. When I have clear eyes and clear heart and understanding that this person cannot, based on their life situation, they cannot hold that space for me, I'm like, I'm going to stop trying to shove the square peg in the round hole. Right. Like, why do I keep doing the same thing? Like the definition of insanity, you know? Doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. Like, okay, this person cannot meet me where I am. And that's okay. Like, I'm not going to be resentful. Like, it has nothing to do with me. Right. Like, that's your whole thing, right? That, like, the water is not flowing in my direction. Yeah. Like, so let it go. Let it go. And invite someone else. Yeah. And maybe it's somebody that's new. Yeah. You know? Oh my gosh, there's so many people. Right? Waiting to get to know you and hold space for you. It's so true. And there's, like, an evolution in friendships too, that, like, I don't know why in our society we have this idea that you make these friendships and they're gonna stay the same for your whole life. Like, we are I hope we're constantly evolving. If we're not, then we've got bigger problems, right? But like, in our constant evolution, we may have friendships come and go. And again, there's shame in that, right? Yeah. That in that evolution of friendships, when they go by the wayside, like, oh, did I do something wrong? It's my fault, I'm bad, I'm whatever. Instead of being like, wow, that was a beautiful friendship and that served this purpose and this time, and now it's allowing space for me to find someone else in my life. And I think that's beautiful. Totally.
Totally. Yeah, I love that. Is there anything else from lessons that you've learned being in business with your sister and going on that whole journey?
Oh my gosh, a million lessons.
Yeah.
We did not grow up in a family of good communicators.
Mm.
We grew up in a family of, I would say, it was either avoidant or it was explosive.
Mm.
And so there was no middle ground. And Lindsay and I didn't really understand how to communicate healthfully until we were very set in these prescribed roles of who we were in our family of origin. And those roles did not serve us, and those labels were actually quite disservice to us, because it didn't allow us to be fully formed humans and functioning in a really healthy way. So we had bad communication in the beginning of our business, and like yelling at each other in front of staff. I mean, when I think back on it now, it's talking about shame and mortifying. I think we made amends to a lot of people in those beginning years about what ding-dongs we were. But we actually saw a therapist and a business coach, and she was wonderful at really creating a container for us to explore how we wanted to be and what we wanted to evolve into. And I think we over the years did that. Luckily for you, you saw us maybe in a better time than where we were in the beginning. But it definitely, again, like, I was so clueless and not self-aware when we started that business. So, and I was a new mom too, so like dealing with a lot.
Yeah.
But that's not an excuse for not being a more thoughtful, evolved person. But I would say having that business with Lindsay is like what opened up the possibility for who I feel like I operate as today. Well, for me, I could talk for like 7 hours straight. Right? Honestly, I could lead a seminar on talking.
Yeah.
It's ridiculous. Much to everyone's chagrin that's in my life. Like, okay, you can stop now.
You should start a podcast.
Oh my gosh.
Thank you so much.
I would love talking to you. You are so thoughtful and intentional and a lovely human being. Truly, I could talk to you for 10 hours.
Yeah, we could.
And we would probably like solve all the world's problems, right? So.
Yeah.
I love it. This is a treat to be here.
It's so sweet.
It's a gift to me.
Thank you. And I hope that for you listening that you got something out of it today too.
Yes. Ask us all the questions, right?
Yeah. If you have more questions for Laurel, she'll come back. So
I would love that.
Put them in the comments.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Yay.
Okay.
Fabulous. Thank you.
Thank you. Mwah.